Which tub is that? First one, second one?
The one with heads crawling out of it. You'll see it's like there's some little tubs on top of it. Let me know when we're live.
I think
Yeah.
We're live?
Yeah.
We're live. Hey guys, it's Matt with Olympus Reptiles, and this is our first ever live video. I know this is a really odd day for us, but we had no choice about it being an odd day because things just happened today, so here we are. If you remember before, I told you we wanted to do a lot of our egg cutting live. So that's what we're going to do today. We were planning on doing this on... Ooh, I just went sideways, huh? We were planning on doing this on Saturday night or Sunday morning. However, Sunday would have been 58 days, but we have eggs pipping. So we're going to have to do it now because eggs are pipping. So let me show you the parents first of this clutch so you can see what we're working with, give you an idea of the odds we're looking for. This is a pretty simple clutch. It's going to be for bumblebees. This is Dad right here, our big male Apollo. Really nice bumblebee, fairly dark in color, but he throws these amazing babies, has every time we bred them. I've got some of his holdbacks. They've been awesome. And this is Mom. Mom is just starting to put weight back on. Check this out.
And I can read them there.
Because they ain't smell-o-vision. She didn't mess her cage today. But that is Mom. And Mom, in addition to... We're going to keep flipping me around. Can you guys make up your mind how you want me to be?
Well, it won't go sideways. Your phone keeps locking.
And thanks to all the subscribers who are tuning in live right now. It's kind of a learning curve for us on the camera end with our first live stream.
But she also shed today. That is her first shed post babies. Now, the first thing I do, and we wanted to do all this too, so we give a minute for people to log on, is I like to disinfect about everything. So,
I don't get comments.
did you guys make a decision on that camera? People are going to get motion sick. So we'll go ahead and clean me up a little bit. We're going to clean our work area a little bit. Are we set now?
You guys might want some Dramamine today.
I don't like your...
You don't like my
The
phone?
phone keeps trying to lock the screen.
Well, I don't tell you. It's a brand new phone. I broke my other one. So we have new equipment and everything else. We kind of disinfect all that. I then also like to throw my scissors on the ground. That's it. Ugh, get those picked back up. I also like to disinfect them. I need some more disinfectant here soon. There we go. So it's just kind of going to the barber shop. You know, we want all this nice and clean. That way that's all good. And then I'll give myself a few more squirts. And we'll go all the way up to the elbows. So we're clean. Now, I also just kind of like to set up some paper towels, even though I cleaned everything, just to make sure I'm working with a nice, clean environment. All right, question girl, you want to go ahead and grab me the tub?
Yeah.
Now she had, I believe it was 10 eggs. This is our biggest clutch to date for this year. I believe it's tied for our biggest all time. You find the right one?
Yeah.
So we'll drop those other ones. It'll be a heavy, this will be a heavy box too, be warned.
Yeah.
Alright, got our thermometer hanging there, that's not a problem. Alright guys, this is the first time I've looked in this box too. I glanced through, excuse me, now I have to do this again. I glanced through the side to see that it was pippin, but I haven't opened it, so we wanted to share this with you live. So here it goes. Looks like we've had 2 pip. That first one, I am confident in saying is a spider. It's obviously alive and well. I saw this head out too. We'll go ahead and trim a little more off of this guy, just so we can kind of see what he is. Some of you may notice I'll shake a little bit. That's pretty normal for me to do. I do believe that is going to end up being probably a pastel. So we have 1 spider, we have 1 pastel. Now we just start working our way around. That's funny seeing her head stuck out like that. Again, I just like to kind of get a little bit of a nick. What we're really hoping for here, of course, are killer bees. You'd also take bumblebees and super pastels. Let's pick this egg up. See if I can give you a show of what's in there. That looks like I'm not real sure yet. Probably going to be a bumblebee. The lines are really thick. It could end up being just a super pastel when it crawls out. Did see some movement in that there. See, whoop, see that reaction? Means it's alive and well. We'll come right over here. You can see I marked this with an S. That means I saw something that made me think it was going to be a spider pattern. I marked those really early. It looks like I was wrong on this one. Every now and then you get them wrong. And that, I can't see the head. There's reaction. I think that's probably going to be a pastel when it comes out. Pretty certain. Let's try this one again. Also, all this leaning over, I've got like this cold starting, so let me get the sniffles a little bit. It's also why I disinfected post-cough. How's this coming on the camera?
It's coming out pretty good.
Yeah.
Okay, is there like anybody watching us? Like 2 people?
54.
54? Holy cow. That's pretty awesome. I mean that with sincerity too. I'm impressed we got that many people watching us. This looks to definitely be something nice. Probably at least a bumblebee in there. And I could cut a bigger hole and tell for sure. I don't like to cut big holes. I stick to small holes and small cuts. That way they're not feeling pressure to come out the egg early. We really don't want them to do that.
Yeah, and for those people who are just now tuning in live, what is the pairing that you're cutting at the moment?
This is a bumblebee to a pastel. And the reason we're doing this live is because I wanted to share with you guys not just the good stuff. You know, I wanted to share with you the odds as we hit them on clutches. Also, you know, I don't know if these are all going to be alive. I hope they are. I expect them to all be. But, you know, if we have a problem, I want you to see the good and the bad with breeding, not just the good. That one could be a normal or a pastel, but it's alive. So put that back in there.
And a young woman named Kristen has chimed in, and she wants to know
Kristen. How are you doing?
about pythons. She thought that they had live births. Is that accurate?
Most pythons do not. Now, see, this egg I'm a little worried about. It's just not feeling like the other ones, but we'll see. It could just be that spot in the egg. Most pythons lay eggs. Most of your boa species have a live birth. This looks like a regular spider. It's fine too. It was just that spot in the egg, the way it was. Made it feel a little bit hard. So far, I know we've got what I believe to be that's probably a bee, maybe just a spider. That one I thought was a pastel most likely. That one is a bee, maybe a killer. Spider, and that I'm certain is at least pastel. And this one I'm certain is at least pastel. This one was one that might be normal. So we're doing pretty good on the odds. Yeah, something else?
Yeah, a gentleman named Dylan wants to know if these are going to be available for sale.
Absolutely, Dylan. There's a small chance I might keep 1 or 2 of these, but the only thing I'd be interested in keeping would probably be if I hit a super pastel female. Other thing else from this clutch will be made available. Now, I don't like to sell my babies fresh out the egg. As a matter of fact, I don't sell my babies fresh out the egg. So it's going to be just a little while. They need to all come out. They need to all eat 3 times on their own and weigh at least 80 grams. So once we hit those thresholds, then I will be making these babies very much available.
Yeah. Now, for those who are still new to reptiles, why would you not do a live sexting on a
live sexting?
Live...
Whoa!
Hey.
Whoa, it's getting real in here, question girl. Live sexting. That is not this kind of video.
I'm talking about for the gender reveal on the snakes that you are currently pipping at the moment. So why would you not do that on a
Well, because I can't sex them when they're in the egg. That's why.
I think they were asking once they get out of the egg if we could do a live.
Oh, live sexing? Like sex them live? We probably could. I mean, the thing I wouldn't do that for most likely is because typically I sex them 3 or 4 times to make sure I get it right. That one's alive. That's got at least That's at least a bumblebee. Probably just a bumblebee. I can't see the head fully, so I'm not 100% certain. The head will be really, excuse me. I was very rude, didn't cover my mouth, but I don't want to redo my hands. Will be very, very blushed out on a killer bee. So typically I'll sex them after a little while, and then I'll sex them again, and I'll sex them again right before sale. Because every now and then you'll have a hemipene that'll hide on you. Now if I see hemipenes pop out, once is good enough. I usually sex them in front of the customer just so they can see what I see. But if it looks to be a female, I usually check multiple times. Because every now and then you'll have a hemipene hide on you.
Now are you going to be taking any of these to upcoming shows?
It's possible.
Which...
That one is definitely a normal. See, this is kind of neat. Come here, little buddy. You can see how the color looks. I can goop on my hands. Try not to mess with things too much. I want to show you guys something. How the color looks on that compared to that. Does that show?
Yep.
That's why I think that's pastel and that's a normal. But this one here is definitely a normal. Oop. How many people are watching now?
We're at 68 and rising.
That's cool.
Now, what sort of material is used on the bottom of your tub here in the eggs? You're using Paralite, correct?
Correct. It's just straight up Paralite. And there's a light diffuser panel that I have double layered. The reason I like that is because I don't have to control my water nearly as much. I can put as much water on there as I want. Oh. That is going to be at least a B. Possibly... It's possibly a killer too. Oh, we're going to see a head. Come on out, little buddy.
Peekaboo. Come on.
Back in. We're not going to force him out. He can come out, stick his nose out, have a breath, and go back in. Probably just to be. And these colors will continue to develop a little bit within the first week of them being out. I don't know if we hit another killer. We've really only hit one killer. We've done this pairing 3 times, and the only killer we've ever hit, we've kept. So hopefully when these crawl out, we get a good look at them. We have another killer or 2. That'd be really cool. I don't see anything I think is just super pastel. If there's one, it would be maybe this one. And the reason I kind of think that is that back line right there is really thick for just a spider line. But looking at the pattern, I'm pretty certain this is going to be a B. I think it's got spider in it, but I'm not going to force it to find out. So, here's the really good news. And this is what I want you guys to all think of. You know, this clutch, you know, it looks like we may have done, okay, we hit one normal. I'll take that. We also, I don't know if we hit the killer. If we hit a killer or 2, then it's a great clutch. If we didn't hit a killer or a super, then we kind of missed on the odds on this one a little bit. But here's a cool thing. I got 10 snakes, and they're all alive, and they're all healthy. And that, to me, when I'm doing incubation and I'm doing hatching, that's the most important thing. The odds, over time, are going to play themselves out. I mean, you can't fight math, okay? You're going to win some, you're going to lose some. But if I'm having live, healthy babies at a higher rate, that's what I'm really after. So I'm really happy with this clutch, no matter what we hit on the odds, because all 10 of those babies are alive. So that's what we're searching for. Shelly's got a question.
Shelly wants to know about how long will they stay in the eggs before they crawl out?
That's a good question. I mean, I think we may have some babies out as soon as tomorrow. I think that little guy poking his nose out will probably be out tomorrow. And a few of the others may stay in a couple more days. This clutch won't stay in that long. Reason I believe that is 2 of them have pipped on their own. That one and this guy here. So they are ready to kind of start exploring the world, ready to start crawling out. If I would have cut them earlier, say at day 54, then they'll set in the egg longer. They're not going to come out of the egg till they're ready. The only time they come out way too early is when you cut them and you cut this big, like I say, I only cut these little flaps that you see me kind of try to close back. When you cut a big, huge hole in that, sometimes that'll force them to come out early because they don't feel confident or comfortable in that egg anymore. And that gives you a higher rate of yolk sacs that aren't fully absorbed. Where, you know, we've dealt with that before, so we kind of learn as we go. And now I'm waiting until day 56 to 58 to cut, unless something pips. And I believe today is like 56, and we had the 2 that pipped, so that's kind of where we're at. Any other questions?
Yeah, someone asked, how do you tell the morphs while they're still in the egg?
It's not an exact science. You know, we're kind of guessing to some extent. This one, I mean, you can look at the head on this one that's pipped, and I can definitely tell you that's a spider. If it was a bee head, it'd be a lot lighter. Those lines are certainly spider lines. It's got the spider stash. That's a spider. There is no doubt about it. This one here, you can look at how really light it is and how skinny the lines are and see a little bit of the face, I know that's at least a bumblebee. This one, you can see it's got the same kind of pattern, but it's much darker, like that one, so I can tell that's a spider. That one, you look at enough pastels, you just kind of get able to tell that there's pastel in that. You can see the orange on the sides, that blush spot on the back, and the pattern on the pastel just looks a little different. So that's what you're seeing. You're seeing a little bit of pattern, a little bit of the face, a little bit of that to kind of tell what it is. But I'm not going to say, this is exactly what I got until they crawl out the egg. Now, some clutches, not even then, until we get that first shed or two and we get a chance to really look at them. So, but that's kind of how I'm making predictions, I guess you'd say, on so what they are. Any more?
Yeah, John Beck wants to know if rattlesnakes are the same way.
No. Rattlesnakes are a live birth species. The vast majority of them, I can't think of a species that's not, but don't quote me on that. But like your timbers, your westerns, they're all live births. So they're closer to how boas would be bred. Their genetics work the same. But I haven't seen... Now, there's a lot of genetics in rattlesnakes, but there's more than I know about. Most of the ones I've seen are all recessive. But they would breed the same genetics like a ball python would as far as how recessives work. But it's all going to be live birth, no incubation whatsoever.
Yeah. Are you going to be breeding any rattlesnakes?
We hope to. We're going to try to eventually. It's our main focus right now is here, but we do want to work with rattlesnakes, especially with the brick and mortar shop and some of the things we've got going on with that. That we have some really cool stuff coming. We're just not quite ready to announce yet, and that'll kind of further those projects. Those are projects that are more of a labor of love. I can tell you this, if you do breed rattlesnakes, the money that's in it, which is very minuscule because it's a very, very small market, is not worth the risk. You got to do that from here. You got to work with those animals because you really, really love them. Any more questions?
Yeah. Are you going to have any albino rattlesnakes for sale nationwide?
Eventually, we would like to, but right now, we do not have any for sale nationwide. There's some, excuse me again. Man, that cold. There's some shipping restrictions there and some licensing we need to do that shipping and a few things we got to wait on before we can start doing that. So.
What about albino ball pythons?
Yes, I do expect a clutch of albino ball pythons. As a matter of fact, our albino female has laid, and she was bred to a 100% double het albino and SK exanthic. So I expect het albinos, possible het exanthic, and also albinos, possible het exanthic from her.
Any plans to go to the Daytona Reptile Show?
I'd like to. I can't guarantee it yet because, I got vacation and work and everything else. But I would really, really like to. We did go last year, but we didn't vend. We just went there, kind of hung out. The cool thing about Daytona is my brother lives there. So it's really nice to go. I get to hang out with my brother. We filmed some videos there. We filmed with Tom Crutchfield, which was awesome for me, but the audio sucked, so I couldn't use it. Camera guy Kurt wasn't with me. He was pissed at me for screwing that one up, but we'll take a mic next time if we get to go. So, any more?
Yeah. What's that thing on top of the tubs up there? That purple thing all bunched up.
Somebody asked about that?
Maybe.
No, we don't. We're getting enough on that. You're already causing me enough work, camera girl.
Someone asked, what is your favorite morph in your collection?
Oh, God, that honestly changes like daily. I come back to this snake a lot. A whole lot. And she is actually offspring from that same pairing 2 years ago now. And you can see she's starting to get thick through here, and she's cooling off. So she's going to ovulate for us soon. I'm pretty sure she's going to actually have babies this year. And this is a killer bee with a little bit of a wobble. And the reason she's my favorite is because when we first set out, this was one of those goals we had, was to make this animal, along with the zebra bee, which we have a shot at this year. So kind of hitting that first gold snake, she always holds a special place. So that one's really cool. For those of you who've watched my venomous videos, I'm really excited about my red western diamondback. I guess it's not a ball python morph, but I'm really, really excited about that. I have got to shake this cold. And then the GHI, I'm really excited about our GHI, who was in our last video a little bit. And then I really like this girl too, although she doesn't much care for me.
You want me to put this by this way?
Yeah, give me 1 second. I'll put them away. This is Mrs. Hissy Pants. I bred her last year. She's a favorite. I just love the ringer, and I love champagne. Plus, I feel like I have to be the advocate for champagne in this house, because Kurt hates it with a passion. Not that snake, just that gene. Camera girl, I don't know what her feelings really are. Or question girl on the champagne stuff. Yeah, be really careful with this deer. Don't tilt it. I'll give you that back. So we're gonna get them back in the incubator. They stay warm and have a chance to crawl out in the darkness on their own. Any more of those questions, Kurt?
Well, one last question, then we'll just kind of finish up this video. Someone asked about a air filter. Do we have an air filter in this room to kind of keep the dust down or anything?
We don't. It's not too dusty, really. I've never had a big problem with that. Sometimes we have, I guess, it's the normal air circulation. There's a return air vent and some air vents for the HVAC in the house. And there's some windows in it that sometimes we'll use to regulate temp a little bit. But we don't have like a specific air filter. Now with our rat room, we have a huge, huge fan that pulls air out because, well, as Kurt can tell you, rat rooms get stinky if you don't deal with them. If there's any more, let's do one more. Why not?
What type of snake do you recommend for starters? Someone's getting one soon.
I would say that it kind of depends on what you want. I'm a big advocate for ball pythons. I'm a huge advocate for ball pythons. Excuse me, let me get... my nose is killing me. Sorry about filming with a cold, but I had no choice in Baby's Pip. Ball pythons are great. They're very docile to handle. They are very easy to maintain size, and they come in all those pretty colors. Another one is corn snakes. Corn snakes tend to run around a little more, be a little bit more of a handful, but they don't come with some of the feeding issues that ball pythons come with. So it really depends on what you're looking for. You know, the ball pythons are notorious for possible feed issues. If you get something a little bit off, they'll just be like, I don't want to eat. And someone will do that to you anyway, and you got to find the right food item. That doesn't bother me that much. Whereas corn snakes will eat everything, so they can make a good beginner pet too. But the size isn't too big with them. So corns or balls or corns would be the two I'd recommend. My first was a Colombian redtail. That's not a bad first one to go with, especially if you go with a male, because their size as a male isn't too great. They tend to eat very, very well. Now, a female is going to be a big beast of a snake, so make sure you're prepared if you go that route. Any more?
Last one.
Last one. I like doing this part.
Last one, and then we're calling it a night. How
Okay.
many rattlers do we have at the house?
At the house, just 2.
Not at the shop.
We keep just 2 in the house, and that's going to go down, most likely. There's some plans in place with the shop where I'll probably end up moving one of them back there, and I'll probably just keep my original first pet rattlesnake here at the house. But for now, we got 2, and we'll see how long that stays that way. I don't mind keeping 2; they don't bother me. But just to camera girl or question girl's making this face like, I'd like to be down to 1. All right, guys. I hope you really enjoyed this. I did. It was kind of fun. Let us know what you think. If you like the live egg cutting, if you don't. Again, it's not about hitting the odds. It's about sharing with you in real time the successes and the failures we have. As people get into this and decide they want to breed, I want them to have, I guess, a realistic idea of what they're going to have. I never got that watching videos. You know, you always got, I did this video and I got 5 out of 5 this and I slammed the odds and killed it. Well, I want you guys to see when I do slam the odds. I want you guys to see when I don't. I want you guys to see that really sad day when I have an egg that doesn't make it and I open it and there's a baby that's almost full term and doesn't make it, because it's going to happen. It's going to happen to you. It's going to happen to me. And those days kind of suck. You know, and I also want you to see that even when you don't slam the odds, like this was, I wouldn't say this was an odd slam. I'd say it's par for the course. But I had 10 healthy babies, and that's what makes me happy. So thanks for coming along on our journey. Let us know what you think of these live videos. If you like them, we'll do some more egg cutting live. So, all right, guys, thanks for watching, and we'll see you probably next time we have some more babies, which is probably going to come up in, what, a couple more weeks? A couple more weeks, we'll be cutting some more babies. All right, guys, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.